good, guys? Classic MMA here, and today I'll be doing my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night, Evloev versus Murphy. So we have an interesting, matchup going down here. Two undefeated contenders going for a title shot here, even though the UFC is probably going to give it to Gene Silva because of Dana White privilege, but So we have some, outside of that, we have some decent fights on the card, so let's get into it. Starting off with our first prelim of the night, we got Shinio Dyer versus Ravina Oliveira. Uh... Let's see. So I could give you all the, just the little analysis on the outside foot battle here. I mean, this is a real man's fight right here. I mean, who doesn't want to watch Shanil Dyer and Oliveira fight? Not me. Shanil Dyer, she's the girl coming off Contender Series. She lost, but she looked decent in that loss. And then Ravina Oliveira is a bit of a WMA can, but so for who I'm picking here, shouldn't come as much of a surprise. Give me Shanil Dyer by decision. Dyer looked pretty decent on Contender Series and arguably won. And Oliveira is an absolute can, so give me Dyer by decision. Next in the card, we got Shamrock, the man himself, and Anshul Jubilee's biggest fan, versus Al Sawadi. So on the side of Shamrock, we have like a pretty solid like BJJ grappler. That's where most of his wins are by like sub. He's very solid on the ground. His striking, it's awkward, it's weird. It kind of works sometimes, kind of doesn't. He's a former Octagon MMA guy. Made his debut against Nurullo Aliev, didn't go his way. Kind of got pieced up on the feet by Aliev, and then also got taken down and bullied too. So not the greatest look in the world. And then Al Sawadi, he's this Iranian, not Iranian. What is he? Brazil. I'm trying to think. Where's this guy from? Someplace on the third side of the world. Yeah, somewhere. But Al Sawadi, he's a pretty decent wrestler. Mostly likes to strike though. He's decent at striking, not amazing though. So, for who I'm picking here, give me Shamrock by decision. Kind of a mid-off, I'm not gonna lie, but since Shamrock looked decent in the loss to Nurullo Aliev, who I think is gonna be pretty good. Well, Sawadi's coming back after like a three-year layoff, coming off a KO loss. So I think Shamrock can honestly edge this one out by just being slightly more active on the feet and or maybe not mixing in grappling like takedowns, but like when he gets taken down, jumping sub attempts and stuff. So give me Shamrock by decision. Next on the card, we got Oh My Days, Louis Sutherland versus Brando Perisic. On the side of Louis Sutherland, we have a bit of he's a bit of a regional can crusher. Was this big, just kind of demolishing guys on the regional scene. Just not fighting the highest level competition, but getting a lot of KO wins. Then he's supposed to make his UFC debut against Junior Taffa or Justin Taffa, one of the two. Then I believe Justin Taffa misses weight and then pulls out. So Louis Sutherland then ends up fighting Walter Walker like a couple weeks after that and ends up getting heel hooked, and now he's trying to make a bounce back. Brando Perisic is actually one of the more solid heavyweight prospects we have at the moment. Has very solid kickboxing. Like he's pretty fast for a heavyweight and can actually like manage distance at a pretty decent level. Also has a pretty elite ground game. He's able to take people down and finish them with ground and pound. Like Perisic is legit, man. So for who I'm taking here, give me Brando Perisic by round 1 TKO. Perisic is actually surprisingly skilled at managing distance on the feet using his kickboxing, but I don't think that's how he'll win this fight, to be honest. I imagine his camp's gonna try to exploit Sutherland's non-existent ground game, as we saw in that fight against Walter Walker, and I see Perisic getting him to the ground and finishing him by a ground and pound TKO. So give me Brando Perisic by round 1 knockout. Next on the card, we got Antonio Tricoli versus Montas Contravicius, something like that. Antonio Tricoli, he's kind of just a can on the roster. I mean, I think he's 0-3 in the UFC, knocked out by Shera, standing guillotine choked by Trayshawn Gore. Oh, brother. Losing the Trayshawn Gore is something, bro. Standing guillotine choked again by Mansur Abdullah Malik. Like, that's something, bro. And then Montas Contravicius, he's this undefeated prospect coming off Contender Series, Polish guy. I mean, he just gives the vibes of someone who's going to be good in the UFC. Very solid kickboxing, big power in the hands. His grappling is a little questionable. We haven't seen it in action, and I think he has a sub loss, if I remember right. So But who I'm picking here, give me Montrezl Contravifius by first round TKO. This is just a squash match. Let's be honest. Tricoli's awful at literally everything he does in the cage. I just see Montez taking his head off. He's very powerful and he's very quick. I think we're gonna see Tricoli get flatlined yet again, and maybe the UFC will finally say, you know what, maybe we don't need Antonio Tricoli on the roster. So, give me Montez Contravifius by round 1 TKO. Next on the card, we got Oh My Days Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. On the side of Mario Pinto, we have actually one of the brighter heavyweight prospects at the moment. Has in his first, made his debut against Austin Lane. Looked a little sus, got dropped by Austin Lane, but got the job done. Came back, got a big knockout. Showed he had some endurance. Showed he had recoverability. And then his second fight against Gennaro Diniz, a lot of people pick against him because they think if Austin Lane's hurting you, then Diniz can do a lot worse. But Pinto was actually able to show off his elite ground game. Is able to take down Diniz and absolutely bully him, landing big elbows, ground and pound, switching up, going for like arm bars, kimuras, rear naked chokes, like doing a lot of stuff in grappling that you don't see from heavyweights. And looked very skilled. And then on the side of Felipe Franco, we have a big, powerful guy coming off Contender Series. A lot of can crushing wins, just a lot of big, quick TKOs on his record. Went on Contender Series, lost to that gym teacher, got gassed out and got submitted. Not the best look in the world. So for who I'm picking here, it shouldn't be much of a shocker. Give me Mario Pinto by first round TKO. That is not Mario Pinto. Hey, I'm the best editor on YouTube, by the way. Pinto has shown a lot of promise in his first UFC fights, with his big power on the feet and his elite ground game. And I see that just getting him the win here, as Franco looked awful in the Dana White Contender Series, getting finished on the ground by a gym teacher. And I just see him getting taken down and, well, getting ground and pound TKO'd here. So give me Mario Pinto by first round TKO. Next on the card, we got Nathaniel Wood, the prospect, versus Lerone Kieta. On the side of Nathaniel Wood, we have probably the best. I'd say the best unranked guy at 45 right now. He's kind of just been on his crafty little unk run. Had that loss to Naimov a couple years ago, but since then he's just kind of been crafting it up, beating prospects. You know, win against Andre Fili, got dropped, but was able to come back and knock down Andre Fili himself and get a big win over Andre Fili. Then fights Morgan Shire, nearly puts him out cold in like the first 2 minutes of the fight, just drops him badly. And Shire was a pretty decent French prospect at the time, and then wins a decision. Nathaniel Wood, and then his last win coming over Jose Delgado, who me and everyone else thought was, one of the brightest prospects in MMA at the moment. We thought he had a lot of potential to like go on this big run. I still do, honestly. But Nathaniel Wood makes it very close with Delgado. Gets the decision. Even if I don't think he deserved to win that decision. He fought tough, got dropped, came back, knocked down Delgado, had some big moments in the second and third round, was able to secure that win, and now is looking for another one. And then Lerone Kieta, he's this double champ coming out of Octagon MMA. Was originally supposed to make his debut against Patricio Pitbull, but missed weight, and Patricio Pitbull proceeded to clown him, posting pictures of like pregnant panthers and calling him the Fat Panther. Ugh. Letting Patricio Pitbull do you like that's tough, bro. Kieta's style, he's kind of like a featherweight Michael Morales, just lacking the power. He just kind of walks you down menacingly, tries to land big shots, and tries to kind of fatigue you. That's usually his strategy. So for who I'm picking here, give me Nathaniel Wood by decision. I think watching Keita's footage, I was just not that impressed, as I think his KO power is overrated, as he's not like putting people out with one shot. It's taken like 2-3 rounds for him to finish these people who are absolute jobbers in Octagon MMA. And against someone in Wood who you can drop him, but he's gonna get right back up. I just see Wood fighting smart, Mexican takedowns, and winning a crafty decision win over Lerone Kieta like he did against Jose Delgado. So give me Nathaniel Wood by decision. Next on the card, we got Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. On the side of Mason Jones, we have one of the most like fun, entertaining, like unranked guys at lightweight right now. I mean, this guy's just been putting on absolute bangers since he came back to the UFC. Fought Jeremy Stephens, did the dance with Jeremy Stephens, put on a pretty sick fight. Won very dominantly, was able to mix in grappling. Then also just had fun striking on the feet too. Then then his last win against Balaji gets dropped early, nearly gets finished, but then comes back and absolutely and puts out Oki, or drops Oki and then finishes him with ground and pound in a sick performance. Then on the side of Axel Sola, we have this undefeated French prospect coming off his debut in the UFC where he got a knockout win in the 3rd round over Reese McKee, even if the stoppage was a little questionable, to say the least. Solo's not bad, though. Very solid grappling, uh, power on the feet, a little bit chinny, but not too bad. So for who I'm picking here, oops. For who I'm picking here, give me Mason Jones by decision. I think Reese McKee was giving Axel Solo a lot of issues before the early stoppage, and I think if Reese McKee, who's 1-4 in the UFC, is able to do that to you, I just see Mason Jones honestly doing him way worse, as he can make it a dogfight on the feet while also having great grappling and insane recoverability. Give me Mason Jones by decision. Next on the card, we got Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. The way this guy looks, bro. uh, uh. On the side of Curtis Campbell, we have one of the more interesting guys coming off Dana White Contender Series last season. Very dominant grappling style, likes to take people down and usually fold them a ground and pound or look for a submission. Very dangerous on the ground. Unproven though, fought a lot of cans, didn't really get a high level opponent on Contender Series either. But got the finish, did the job, got the UFC contract, so now we're here to see what he can do in the UFC. On the side of Danny Silva, he's just kind of a guy who likes to get in dogfights and doesn't have really any power, but just a volume guy with a great chin. Those big shots. Had actually kind of a competitive fight with Kevin Vallejos, who's gone on to go on a pretty big run himself. And Danny Silva was actually able to make it decently competitive with him. Didn't get finished. Had some moments. Didn't look bad. So for who I'm picking here, this is kind of tough actually, but give me what's his name, Cambo by decision. Close fight as Danny Silva was able to go to a decision with Kevin Vallejos, which I do rate. And what's this guy's name? Curtis Campbell is a bit unproven, but I'm still gonna take him here. If Kevin Vallejos, who is not known for his grappling, is able to take you down and control you for a good amount of time, then I believe Curtis Campbell, who's a pretty high level grappler himself, I think he should be able to do the same. Give me Curtis Campbell by decision. Next on the card, we got Roman Dolidze versus Christian Leroy Duncan. On the side of Roman Dolidze, he's a blockhead, okay? He is the definition of a blockhead. Zero skill in this man whatsoever. Negative speed. Dude just walks at you like a caveman. Tries to throw bombs. Prays that maybe you take him down so he can fluke a submission or something. Coming off that absolute beating he took versus Fluffy Hernandez, where he's just got his face elbowed to oblivion and then eventually got choked. And then on the side of CLD, we have probably the best unranked middleweight at the moment. On a 3-fight win streak, 2 of them by KO. Very big and very explosive, very fast. Likes spinning he loves spinning attacks, spinning back fists, spinning elbows. Got a nasty one in his last fight over Marco Tulio, where he was an underdog against this a prospect with only one loss in Marco Tulio, and was able to just walk in there, have some struggle a bit in the grappling at the start of the fight, but come back and get a big spinning back fist knockout in the 2nd round. So CLD's legit, man. He is legit. So for who I'm taking here, give me CLD by round 2 TKO. After seeing Dolidze take so much damage against Anthony Hernandez, spoiler alert, hasn't aged the best for him. I just can't see him having success here. CLD is huge and explosive, and I just see him landing a big shot here. And I think he's going to be the first person ever to knock out Roman Dolidze. So give me Christian Leroy Duncan by round 2 TKO. Next on the card, we got Iwo Baraniski versus Austin Lane. Whew. On the side of Iwo Baraniski, we have one of the more entertaining guys at light heavyweight, in general. Coming off that absolute barn burner in his debut against Ibo Aslan, got dropped twice, but was able to come back and get a big knockout. Was able to walk in there and just throw big bombs, have insane recoverability, and eventually get the finish over Aslan in the 1st round. I mean, I've been a fan of this guy since the Contender Series because he was a big underdog on there too, and he got a knockout there too. Now on the side of Austin Lane, I mean, we have to go to the sport, man. I mean, this guy could beat John Jones. Let's be for real. Okay, maybe y'all are not buying that, but Austin Lane is pretty bad, man. This guy got what? He's what is he, 1-4 in the UFC? I mean, he beat Rebellis to Spain, but who's a karate combat guy now, but other than that, he's just getting knocked out in all of his other fights. So for who I'm picking here, give me Iwo Baraniski by round 1 TKO. This is the easiest fight to pick on the card, as Austin Lane has 6 knockout losses in his career, and now moving down to light heavyweight, he's going to have to cut weight. His chin will be even worse. than it was already. I just think Ewo is gonna bomb this man out cold. He's gonna destroy him. Like, this is gonna be the most one-sided fight you ever seen in your life. Ewo is gonna put Austin Lane bad, and then maybe the UFC will finally cut him, but they probably won't. So next on the card, we got Michael Venom Page versus Sam Patterson. On the side of a MVP, we have one of the most like interesting like best strikers in the whole UFC right now. I mean, this dude uses an in and out dart, in and out like karate blitz base style, where he's basically makes himself impossible to hit. The only way you can really beat him by grappling. In the striking, you're gonna get schooled. Like, he just moves in and out, fights very smart. Emotes on you, makes fights very low output, and wins his fights. His biggest weakness is his grappling, as we saw Ian Gary take advantage of that, and even saw Kevin Holland nearly choke him out with the face crank. But MVP's solid, man. I mean, back in Bellator, dude was known as the finishing machine, but now he's developed just a very heavy point fighting style that's working pretty well in the UFC so far. Then on the side of Sam Patterson, we have one of the better prospects at 170 right now, on I believe a 3 or 4 fight win streak at the moment, all by finish. I think, or yeah, 2 TKOs, 2 subs, coming off that nasty knockout win over Trey Waters, where he just slimes him out on the feet. Also got the knockout win over Danny Barlow, who's not great by any means, but still a solid KO win. Has very high level ground game. Doesn't have the wrestling really to get the fight to the ground, but like, he's usually, when people do take him down, he's usually able to find a sub that way. So for who I'm picking here, give me Michael Venom Page by decision. I am a little worried for MVP here, as Sam Patterson is a very high level submission game, and MVP is pretty bad off his back, but Patterson just lacks the offensive wrestling to even get it to the ground. And with his awful striking defense, this guy was literally chinned out cold by Yanalash Moose. I expect an MVP masterclass here, so give me Michael Venom Page by decision. Next on the card, we got Luke Riley. We got Fluke Riley versus Michael Aswell. On the side of Luke Riley, we have a very explosive KO puncher. I believe he's a Cage Warriors champ. Had a big run in there. Got a ton of finishes. A lot of comeback finishes though. He would get taken down a lot, get beat up, and then have to come back and back guys up the cage and unload on him. Pause. But Luke Riley's not bad though. Made his debut against Bogdangrad. Gets taken down, loses the first round, but then comes back and absolutely coals Bogdangrad. Pretty sick knockout. So looks promising. And then Michael Aswell. He's a guy in the UFC level. Made his debut against or I believe he lost on the Contender Series. Made his debut against Balaji Oki as a big underdog. Made it sort of competitive with Oki, which we thought was a pretty decent at the time, but since then we figured out that Balaji Oki is pretty trash, but still not bad. Went to decision with Balaji Oki, showed he was pretty durable. Then fights Lucas Almeida, who had a broken hand, by the way. Gets a pretty sick knockout over him though. Looks pretty good doing it. So for who I'm picking here, give me Luke Riley by decision. I'm not super sold on Riley, as he spends a whole round on bottom literally every fight, but Aswell is just a durable volume striker and literally nothing else he can do. And I feel Riley can beat that and land the more damaging shots to win a close decision. So give me Luke the Fluke Riley by decision. Now for our main event of the evening, Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Watch my full fight breakdown on this if you want to know more what I think about this. But on the side of Movsar, we have like probably maybe the best contender at featherweight right now. Huge win streak, undefeated, super heavy chain wrestling style. Just spams takedowns, gets you down, tries to land ground and pound. Not much finishing threat, but just also a solid striking game, boxing, pretty fundamental. Keeps it very composed on the feet. Now on the side of Lerone Murphy, we have a very high IQ, technical striker. Also undefeated on a big win streak, coming off that spinning elbow win over Aaron Pico. Absolutely cold. That man's lights out. Was kind of getting pieced up before that, but still solid win. Has a very solid technical striking game. Is very good at fighting his fight. Keeps it at range, kind of like a Leon Edwards clone essentially at featherweight. Very good. Uses nice low kicks. Very solid fighter. I ain't never seen a fighter like this in my life before. For who I'm picking here, give me Movsar Evloev by decision. I see a Movsar masterclass here, as Murphy has pretty mid takedown defense, as we've literally seen this man taken down by Josh Emmett, Gabriel Santos, Dan Ige, random guys I can't even name. Like, Murphy's been taken down a lot in his career, and I feel his striking advantage really isn't as much as Movsar's like advantage in the grappling. Is Movsar's a very solid boxer himself. I just see Movsar taking Lerone down time after time with a few occasional striking moments and just winning a very dominant decision. So give me Movsar Evloev by decision. Alright, now to close out my video, I'm gonna do my 3 locks minus 350 and under. Don't gamble, y'all. I'm just telling y'all who I think's the most likely to win on this card at decent odds. So for my first pick, shouldn't come as any surprise here. Movsar Evloev money line at minus 250, getting an undefeated guy out here who can spam takedowns, has solid striking, gets someone in Lerone Murphy who doesn't have much power, has mediocre takedown defense. Like I just think Movsar is a very safe bet here. So give me I think Movsar at minus 250 is not bad at all. My next lock is Brando Pericic at a money line of minus 250. He has a pretty simple matchup against Louis Sutherland. Has a very clear game plan of how he wins. He just has to take him down and bully him. Can even probably beat him on the feet too, as he is a better striker. But I think at minus 250, those odds are not bad for someone who is probably going to win this fight. Then my final lock to close out the video, Mason Jones at moneyline minus 148. It was kind of hard to find people at under minus 350 on here, as there's a lot of big favorites, so I decided to settle with Mason Jones. Fighting an undefeated prospect, so it's actually near pick'em odds, more closer to pick'em odds, but I think Mason Jones can get it done here, as he has very solid grappling, very solid striking, and Solo was getting pieced up by Reese McKee. I think Mason Jones is going to win a pretty clear decision here over what's his name, Axel Sola. So. Anyways, that's my video for today. Tell me what y'all thought of my picks. Tell me what y'all agree with, disagree with. Comment down below. I respond to every comment. Make sure to subscribe if you like the video, and peace.